It is the most wonderful time of the week. It is Tuesday, and it's time for your favorite pop culture hour. Welcome back to the 11th episode, the 11th installment of TLR, better known as the Ludicrous Report. As always, I am one of your co-hosts, Joey Karni, and with me is the amazing Diva Incarnate Isa. And by the way, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below, like the video, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of things for you to comment on later in the show. But welcome back, Isa. I'm glad that you're feeling better. And how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. Apologies we couldn't be here last week. It was all on me. I wasn't feeling too good. But we're here and I'm ready to talk. So I missed you. I miss our non-wrestling talks every week. It's refreshing, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely need that downtime of like that pop culture, like we talked about it before. It's our what's the word I'm looking for?
Guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm sure we'll find something Kardashian related for our show, as we always do. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we can start talking about. But specifically one that by the way, I want to give credit to Isa for today's episode. All of the things we're going to talk about are the topics that she thought would be best to talk about. So props to her. These are some great stuff.
Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge you right here. I know Roman's there somewhere. By the way, another photo shoot I saw. I loved it.
It was his birthday. So I took him to the beach and we took a couple of cute pictures of him at the beach. He loves the beach. So
happy belated to Roman, the big dog. But one article that I saw that you shared, I thought would be a great way to start. Johnny Depp back in the headlines with Amber Heard, divorce, defamation lawsuit, so much more going on. Apparently, there was he was spotted dressed as Jack Sparrow for something. I'm not too sure what it was, but you know, there's a lot of stuff with Johnny Depp. What do you know about this situation? Is this one of those things you like to dive into? Because it's been mainstream media throughout all of 2022.
I was actually thinking about like the biggest scandals and the biggest things that went on in 2022. I believe Watch Mojo is coming out with their list. I might have watched a video. And the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial came, you know, it was part of the list. It was pretty high up. And I was like, man, I really wish we were doing this show during those times because that was crazy. That entire trial and how much people were following it. That was insane. Do you remember like all the crazy, like regular media and mainstream coverage that trial got? It's been a while since a trial was that followed.
Yeah, especially with celebrities like that. I mean, like we've seen, like when was the last big thing that we saw? For me, the top of my head is like we went from like the Harvey Weinstein stuff. That was like a mainstream like Hollywood weekly like thing going on.
Oh, the Epstein guy. Epstein, remember? Yeah.
All those type of big things.
But he's back in the news now because he supposedly gave away $1 million. Some of that is actually Amber Heard's money that she had to pay him. He ended up giving it away to charity. I mean, he decided to have fun with it and dress up as Jack Sparrow while he did that.
So basically, they're all kind of related in some weird way, I guess. But yeah, so Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, obviously back in the headlines. I'm trying to look through the article now to see what exactly like is going on with them. I know that there are still debate as to whether or not Johnny Depp should be able to go, because I know he was pulled from a lot of his roles during this time.
That's the reason why he filed the lawsuit, because of defamation. He lost the Jack Sparrow role. He lost a lot of roles because this woman made him sound like an abuser. And it turns out it was the other way around. And it's been crazy how much I feel like that case can change the landscape, because I don't feel like men speak out about it as much as women do, you know, and I think it was so fair to finally see the payoff, because I feel like it goes both ways. And there's double standards in everything in society still, which we shouldn't. We're going into 2023. But that's a big double standard that a guy is just expected to take it. And you know what I think? If she would have not gone public with her story, he actually would have. I don't think he would have sued her if she didn't. It was a defamation lawsuit. So if she would have not made him sound this way and costed him the money and the roles that it costed him, including Jack Sparrow, which is one of my favorite Johnny. Well, I have a lot of favorite Johnny Depps, but I have a special place in my heart for Jack Sparrow. I mean, some of those movies were filmed here in Puerto Rico. So, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, so I wonder if she didn't go public, would he have taken it and the double standard would have continued? I'm glad that he spoke out, sued her, and we got to see the real version of what went on, because I was under the impression of what she has said for a long time.
Yeah, and so was I to an extent. I mean, I think like kudos to him for sticking it out, because like, you go into a situation like that and it automatically became like he was the abuser, he was the bad guy, and he stuck it out, and he just it came with a lot of baggage, losing roles, his reputation being put on the line, for the truth. So I give him credit for sticking it out, because a lot of people would have just said, you know what, it's not worth me losing my entire career, my life, my livelihood. I'll just keep quiet, and but I kudos to him.
Yeah, kudos to him. And like I said, I feel like this case did a lot more than what people say. And if you go listen to Amber Heard now, she said that he set women back like a bunch of steps back. And I'm like, you got exposed. Yeah. You got exposed, and it was a very, I don't know. It was, I just remember following the trial, and I was so mind blown, because I really was under the completely wrong impression here. I remember reading her interviews where she called him, said some of the things that he did to her that ended up being proven that he never did. And I actually couldn't believe it, because I love Johnny Depp, and I still think he's very beloved. But yeah, I really do think that people started looking at Johnny Depp completely differently after that.
Yeah, I'm just glad that now it's kind of died down a little bit, and at least try to get back to whatever normal life they have left, at least for him. But I mean, I know there's rumblings of another Pirates of the Caribbean movie that he might be a part of. So hopefully, 2023 and so on, we'll have another installment.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite Johnny Depp movie?
I don't. For me, I would probably have to say Pirates of the Caribbean, because that to me is such an iconic character that there's characters where they can somewhat be replaced in a sense. This is a character that you can put makeup on in a costume on anyone, and it will never be Johnny Depp. They do it with the Joker.
I agree, but I don't know about the Joker anymore. Well, actually, maybe, because like what we were discussing, other people with Joaquin Phoenix, I liked him as the Joker a lot, and I didn't think I was gonna like any other Joker after Heath Ledger, but I think it was because his story was completely different. But I like Johnny Depp in more dark things, Secret Window, Sleepy Hollow, because I'm a horror movie fan. I love those movies from him.
No, I honestly, he's a generational actor. He's a generational talent. That's like what they use in wrestling, the term generational talent. But I think that he definitely is like an icon, like whatever you want to use for in that sense. That's he is that for a generation. So I don't know. I'm excited to see if he does another movie, if he does come back with another Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm just excited. Honestly, I'm just really excited.
I hope so. That's an iconic.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to look forward to. But another topic that we have today, I know that we always find our way back to the Kardashians. We said I think it was last week or the week before, we're gonna have the Kardashian corner with a K, because we always find something related to the Kardashians, and this is kind of on the outskirts of the Kardashians. We have Lamar Odom, who was formerly married to Khloe Kardashian. He's a Laker. Lamar Odom announces a new documentary, and it's titled this to me is fantastic: Sex, Drugs, and Kardashians. And it's about his split, obviously from Khloe Kardashian, like I said, and it just goes into a lot of different things. He was in a lot of dark times in his life, had a lot of issues with drugs and addiction, and that you saw that kind of play out on Keeping Up with the Kardashians at one point. He was involved in that show. And they kind of showed the wedding, the addiction, the before, the middle, and the after, the whole thing about the wedding, getting married, getting divorced, the addiction, like I said. And now I guess he's ready to express his side. So I think, honestly, this will be fun. I'll definitely check it out because I'm a fan of the Lakers and I'm a fan of him. And our guilty pleasure being the Kardashians. So it's everything put together. Plus, I feel like on the Kardashians, they really don't give anybody else's side but their own. So it'd be nice to see his side of things. What do you think about it?
Yeah, and I think that Lamar has a backstory that's crazy. I hope they go into everything and not just the Kardashian era. And I love that you brought up that you're a Lakers fan because he was such a great still is probably a great basketball player. And everything that people talk about him is what happened to him and the Kardashians. Like, people don't go back to those years that he played with Kobe. The documentary will be available on Hulu as of January 2nd. So this one is literally coming up in a week or two. We'll be able, maybe we'll discuss it. Maybe we can watch it and discuss it here. But January 2nd on Hulu, I'm very curious about what he has to say. But based on how Khloe treated him when he went through what he went through, and I don't know where things ended, but he always spoke very highly of her. Lamar was also on, he was also on Celebrity Big Brother, and he talked about how he regretted that relationship ended. He holds her very high up, so I'm not sure that we're gonna get Kardashian tea that we don't know about, but I'm very curious about everything.
Yeah, and to kind of dig deeper into it, you mentioned it's going to be on Hulu. Another show on Hulu is the Kardashian show. Their new show is on Hulu. Obviously, same producers, and I'm sure they'll be producers on this show as well because they're not going to let anybody just use their name. So you mentioned T. Do you think that maybe this is kind of his version of what happened with the Kardashian remix on top of it?
Supervised, right? Like with approval, with some kind of approval. And I think that Lamar has such a story to tell that I don't think that I get it. It's our guilty pleasure. We bring up the Kardashians every week. But we know everything there is to know about them, because like they were on TV. Even though they had their whole relationship on TV, the wedding, they had their own spin-off show. The only thing that we don't know about, which I'm sure he'll go into detail, is what happened to him when he was found pretty much almost dead in Las Vegas. And at the end of the day, Khloe was...
Oh, I think I lost you. You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
It's breaking up a little bit. You're frozen right now.
Okay, 1 second.
Let's see. Yeah, but in regards to like what we just said, obviously Lamar has a crazy story to tell, but I don't think we're gonna get the full thing because obviously, like you said, it's gonna be Kardashian supervised. It's on Hulu. Their show is on Hulu, so obviously the same producers will be involved. And the Kardashians are smart, especially the momager, Kris Jenner. She's not going to let anybody just run the Kardashians down or tell stories that are will make them look bad, despite them being true or not. So I think that obviously, like you said, it'll be a supervised version of his story. But I definitely think it'll be a good idea to have his story out there. And I think this opens the door for a lot of other people who were involved with the Kardashians as well. Obviously, we have Kanye West, who was involved with the Kardashians. Pete Davidson is involved with the Kardashians. Scott Disick is involved with the Kardashians. Travis Barker, Travis Scott. A lot of different people are involved with the Kardashians. So, is she back? She's back.
I'm back. I'm having some internet difficulties. Apologies.
That's fine. I was just saying that, Lamar having his own show or documentary series to express his side, despite it being supervised by the Kardashians, because, the momager, Kris Jenner, is not going to let anybody just run their name through the mud, despite it being a true or not. They're always going to look good at the end. But it just gives him a platform to express his side, at least, a version that is available to the public. And this opens the door for other people like Kanye West and Pete Davidson and Travis Barker, Travis Scott.
We don't need Kanye West speaking anymore. We don't.
Well, obviously Kanye West. That would be the last pick. But I would definitely love to hear Scott Disick's side. You know, he was married to Courtney, or he wasn't married. He was with Courtney for a while. They have kids together, which we'll get into in a little while. There's a discussion about one of their kids. But I think that he has a crazy story as well, and he has a battle with addiction that he's gone through. Which was also filmed on their show. So there's a lot of open doors.
Crazy how much of their lives are on TV.
Yeah. I give them credit for being so open with the way that they are. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like to credit them for that or credit them at all. But I mean, they do put themselves out there a lot, good and bad. But I think that
there's a lot of things in my personal life that I wouldn't put on TV, and the fact that they're so open, they do deserve some kind of props for that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see this series. I'm sure it will stir up some sort of controversy. But again, Kardashians are they're in charge. You know, they're just in charge. They're in charge of everything. A lot of people like to talk about the Illuminati and all that stuff, all that crazy stuff in Hollywood, and I'm like, oh no, there's no Illuminati. It's the Kardashians that they are in charge. And
there's an Illuminati. There's other people that are part of it. I 1000%. Well, I don't want to say I believe in it, but I entertain the idea. Like, I watch the videos talking about it because it's crazy
I go down the rabbit hole.
How some of these artists just blow up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I go down the rabbit hole. I believe in all. I like to look at all that stuff and think of it, but that's why I just said they're in charge, because I'm sure we could have a whole other podcast episode just talking about that. But I guess we can stay on the topic of the Kardashians while we're here. Earlier this week or last week, I believe it was, I'm not even sure. Mason, who is the oldest son of Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. By the way, they have 2 kids with the same birthday, which is crazy. I've never heard of that ever. 2 kids, they're not twins. Same birthday, different years. But Mason had a bar mitzvah, turned 13 or 12 or 13. Obviously Scott Disick is Jewish, and they had this huge celebration. Did you see the pictures that TMZ posted?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I never been to a party like that ever.
No.
And this was a
when I was 13, I had a bar mitzvah, and it was not like this. I can tell you that.
No,
no, not even close.
Tell us about the difference.
I think the difference probably was maybe like $250,000. I would just guess, but
okay.
Their party's probably a lot more than that, but yeah, I'm looking at the article now, and there's video footage of them being raised in the chairs, and of course the Kardashians use this as another runway opportunity, a paparazzi moment. But honestly, what a time to be alive if you're that kid. Like, come on. Like, your family's all over the place, and now you're having this party.
It's crazy how much money was spent on this money, and you know, it's a whole thing to celebrate. But it's insane how much money going to these parties. And you look at the I remember, I think it was Stormi's first birthday. Like, I remember seeing that and going, that is absolutely insane. These babies are not going to remember this. You know, at least these ones are getting to an age where they'll remember these parties and maybe appreciate them and putting, you know, this effort into it.
Yeah. It says that Scott rented out the Off Sunset Lounge, which is a Hollywood hotspot on Sunset Strip. About 200 people for the party.
That's actually small list for the Kardashians, honestly.
Yeah, 100 of those were their friends. So it's full of kids. Let's see here. Let's see. Meanwhile, the sources say that the parents had a great time watching their kids. I don't know. Who cares? Come on. What is this article? TMZ. Get it together. But notable absences were Corey Gamble, Travis Scott, Travis Barker, and Kanye West, which is a weird thing because obviously Travis Scott
Do
is
we
now married.
really expect Kanye at any family parties that are not his kids related anymore?
No, I don't think even with his kids related, I don't think that you're gonna see him really around anywhere. Corey
Yeah, I was gonna
Gamble,
say I think they're gonna have probably separate parties now for the Kim and
yeah.
Kanye kids.
So two bar mitzvahs with 200 people in, I don't know, whatever. I guess two is better than one. But Corey Gamble is the boyfriend of Kris Jenner, who I believe was her, or still is, maybe, I'm not sure, her head of security, which is odd that he wasn't there. Travis Scott, obviously the father of Stormy, and Wolf with Kylie. Wow, I'm getting good at this. And Travis Barker, obviously we talked about, which is weird that he wasn't there because he's now married to Courtney, who is the mother of Mason. So I don't know, but what do you think about these people being not present? How would you react if this was you're in that position and some of your family members weren't there for your big celebration?
I think there are some people that are like, especially with them having so many aunties and uncles and this and that. I think there's so many people that are closer to the kids that you probably want to make sure are there. But these people travel, they're celebrities. I would assume that not everybody can show up to a party.
Yeah. Can you hear me? I think we might have lost Issa again. But as she gets her stuff, her Wi-Fi back together. But yeah, no, I definitely see the Kardashians having. She's back. She's back again.
I'm back. Today is a struggle. Today is a struggle. We'll make it through it.
I said it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the holiday season, and you know how that gets. It gets crazy, gets stressful, and things fall apart. But it's okay. Yeah, obviously talking about the Kardashians still. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can even see throughout the shows and social media, the sisters are really the close knit family. It kind of seems like the husbands are the outsiders.
I was going to ask you, I'm not Jewish and I'm not too familiar with the traditions, but I like the cake. And I noticed that the cake was black and the decorations seem kind of like more gothic. Is there a certain theme that goes with these kind of parties? Like, is it normal for the black cake or is that the aesthetic that we're going for?
I think that's the aesthetic that they're going for. So the whole idea of a bar mitzvah, it's for boys and girls, by the way. More traditional is the girls have it at 12 years old and the boys have it at 13. But modern day, religion, a lot of people don't even do it for the girls anymore. It's more of like a tradition, I guess, for the guys. They have it at 13. It's really more based upon how like religious you are. But the idea is a boy turns 13, he becomes a man. A woman turns 12, she becomes a woman, and it's a huge celebration. And like for me, believe it or not, I had a Hollywood themed bar mitzvah. So we had like these big Golden Globe or Oscar statues, red carpet.
I love that.
Yeah, I was obsessed with like acting and all that stuff my entire life. That was like a dream of mine when I was little, to be in movies and stuff like that. So I always loved that aesthetic. But really, you get to pick whatever theme. Like, I mean, some people go more traditional, just black and white colors. Like you see here, it's like kind of golden black. Mine, believe it or not, was kind of golden black as well. I didn't have a black cake, but everything was kind of golden black, like old school Hollywood was my theme. But you can have, it's like having a birthday party, any theme, whatever works.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know what the representation, like what it meant, but it sounds like in my culture, for example, a quinceañera, like that's what we have, where we can theme the
Pretty
party
much,
and we have a big party and all that.
Yep, it's the same concept. Sweet 16, all the same. Everyone gets their own type of big party, I guess. But no,
I see. Okay, no, but
yeah. Everyone gets. You get a party. We're like Oprah on this show now. Everybody gets a party.
Well, the Kardashians celebrate everything, so.
Oh yeah, no, they celebrate everything. But let me see here. So we discussed Johnny Depp. For those of you who are just tuning in, obviously, welcome back to TLR, the Ludicrous Report. I'm Joey Karni. This is Issa, the Diva Incarnate. If you haven't already, please subscribe down below to the Know Your News channel. The channel is growing. Everyone who is a part of this network is helping build it. There's a bunch of different podcasts throughout the week: gaming, movies, sports. I mean, everything you could possibly think of. Jimmy Van, also owner of Fightful, for those wrestling fans out there. He's doing an excellent job building this network, and we're along for the ride, helping him do that. So hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you'd like to hear about, or if you have a topic as well. I know Issa, you're very big into your chat with your channel, so you can kind of go more into detail if you want about that. But yeah, we're trying to help build this network and build this platform. And
people can definitely chime in on the chat. We try to acknowledge everyone. I'm very big on interacting with the community. Also, if you guys want to support Joey and myself, Superchats, and you can go to, I said, Know Your News chat. It's on the description, and leave us a chat as well. Also, you can subscribe to the channel, which would allow you to have your own personalized emojis.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's keep going with some of these topics that we have here. So we discussed, obviously, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, scandal of the year, sort of say. Lamar Odom is getting his own documentary series on Hulu about his drug addiction and the Kardashians. We talked about Mason's big...
Can we talk about Britney, please?
Yes, it's Britney. You know the rest. So yeah, fans think that Britney Spears is in trouble and believe that her public appearances are being faked as a cover-up of some sort. I don't know. I don't follow her on social media. I do see things that she posts on TikTok and Instagram. And my Lord, I don't know what's happening, but I feel something is off.
I'm a big Britney Spears fan. Big Britney Spears fan. I follow
my first childhood crush.
I follow the Free Britney movement, but if I'm going to be honest with you, I followed it with fear because I never thought that Britney is okay. I do think there needs to be some kind of control, just not her family taking full advantage of her, right? So when people were rooting to free her, I think that there is, I don't know, this is speculation coming from a fan that's been devoted since day one and follow everything, right?
Yeah.
I think that there is something, whether it's mental health related. I don't think Britney is all there. I don't think I'm saying anything wrong by saying that. You can go, you just said it. You can go to her social media and it's like obvious. So when they did the free movement, the conservatorship that Britney was under didn't end. I think they just kind of like switched the management. Her dad is no longer involved and she has a little more freedom. She got married to Sam. All of that happened after the Free Britney movement. That got really big in 2020. We got to hear her talk about how she was really being treated, and it was heartbreaking to hear her being treated like a prisoner. And they made so much money off of her. At the same time,
her family.
Britney was in a down, and she was in a down spiral when they put her in this conservatorship. You remember shaving her head, locking herself in a bathroom with her kids. Like, it was bad. So I know why they put this in place for her. So here's what's been going on lately. On December 2nd, Britney had a birthday, and her husband was posting all over social media what he was going to do for her and this and that. And people started thinking that the video that she posted was fake, like the voice was dubbed over, right? Yeah. Then this person came out on TikTok and said that some crazy woman like snatched their kid at a restaurant at Nobu, a big restaurant in Hollywood. They started kissing the baby, and they were like, on a group chat, they were like, you're not going to believe who the lady is. It was Britney. And people are now conspiring that was a plan, that person was paid to like put out the story. And Britney looked horrible in this TikTok, in the picture that they took of her with the kid. Like, you could see her tracks and her extensions. And it was just like, I don't see Britney going out like that, especially because, listen, I've done a lot of FBI work. In her husband's Instagram, where he's like showing her making Instagram content where they're running late for dinner, she was wearing something completely different than the picture. So people are saying maybe it was on a different day, whatever. There was also that whole fast food restaurant report where the guy told her, oh, everything's going to be okay. And Britney kind of insulted him and then deleted the post.
Yeah.
The latest in this whole Britney Spears mess is that Perez Hilton, remember him? He's still a thing.
He pops up on my TikTok all the time. I see his face over videos. I'm like, oh,
that's the only place he's relevant anymore. And now, so he came out on TikTok and said that he spoke to someone that's like familiar with the situation and that Britney's not okay and that we should all pray for her, but he can't share what's wrong. And it was just like, then why make the video? First of all, that was my whole like, why make the video? You're gonna concern fans and not even tell people what's going on when you know there's millions of people like trying to figure out what's happening. So Perez Hilton's TikTok, he went live talking about the situation because fans were giving him backlash, like, tell us what's going on so we can help. Because, you know, the fans now think that we can just rescue Britney because we freed her, right?
I mean, they kind of did. You guys did. Everyone did. So
I know. So Perez went live, and after he went live, he got his TikTok got suspended.
Wow.
So now people are thinking there's big people, you know, there's big management behind this whole Britney conspiracy where they're keeping her down. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but they had her in a mental hospital for months before it even came out to the public. Nobody knew. So that's what all this Britney Spears conspiracy, like people are thinking that these posts are fake. She's not the one posting on her Instagram. Yeah. I don't know because like some of the things that are being posted in the captions just sound very her and some things doesn't. So I told you I've been investigating this.
I love it. I think it's great.
That's a short version of what's really going on with Britney Spears. And it's crazy to me because I think we could have a whole episode about the whole, everything that's going on with Britney, but I'm not sure if she's okay. And I'm not sure that what we're seeing on her Instagram or TikTok is her on real time. A lot of the things, like if you put details together, seem like this is like, she's at her old house on some of them. There's like, she posted one recently and like the fans are amazing because she posted one recently in which her puppy just walks around her and they were like, okay, why was the puppy a puppy? This puppy is like a year old now and it's big. It's like a big dog, you know? So it's like crazy what people are catching. But at the end of the day, it does appear that this content that they're putting out or she's putting out is not recent.
Yeah. You know what comes to mind when everything you're telling me and I have all these like things popping up, it comes down to the media. Like the media, in a way, I feel like are the silent killers. Like they are, you know, they are large and in charge, you know, like they can do whatever they want and make anybody look however they want. You know, obviously Britney has gone through a lot, but you know, going back a little, you know, a few steps, looking like what we talked about with the Kardashians, their lives, everything is out in the open, like everything. And, you know, same thing goes for Britney Spears. She's been in the spotlight, like not just like a character on stage. She's been the main character since she was a little kid. And she's what, in her 40s now?
Because she was in the Mickey Mouse Club. She was a kid then. This is like, people want to talk about Britney when she came up with Baby One More Time. I'm like, Britney's been a thing way longer than this. And she was only 15 when she recorded that album. So we're still talking about a kid. 15, you're still a kid. She's been part of the spotlight. She's never had a normal life, ever.
Nope. And she's been groomed by her parents and her family to be put in the spotlight. Like, do this, don't do that. Look this way, don't do that, you know, her whole life. So she's kind of been controlled her entire life. And then going into the conservatorship and all this stuff that happened. I mean, obviously, she's going to have some problems. And, you know, there's some people who obviously like the Kardashians, maybe they're able to handle it more than someone like Britney Spears. You know, and you have to take into consideration.
The problem is that Britney, like what people need to take into consideration, she was being controlled and under this conservatorship for 15 years. This woman wasn't even allowed to have a phone, no visitors, nothing. So it's like, I don't even know, even if this ended and she's being herself, I don't even know she will know how to act. I don't even know she will know social media etiquette. And at the same time, who are we to tell her what? That's what makes me mad. It's like, who are we to tell her what to post and what not to post when she's been living like a prisoner her whole life? If she wants to post her titties out on Instagram, let her. At least she's filtering what she needs to filter.
Exactly.
You know?
You know what the biggest difference is too? I keep comparing it to the Kardashians. I think that's the best way to really, you know, put it. But even like if you watch the Kardashian shows, you see them break down and you see them lose focus and things happen with, their reputation, the media being controlled by certain things. Look at Kim with the whole Kanye situation. A lot of things are out of their control and they don't know what to do. They feel helpless. But at the end of the day, they have a whole family of a team together. There's 100 million Kardashians. For Britney, she was by herself with no family. The family were against her. So I feel like she was in a much worse position. Plus, she was brought up into, Hollywood in a different time where a lot of different things were happening and, not necessarily good things were happening. A lot of bad things were happening. And she's just been flown through the whole entire thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's when Britney kind of started living. And unfortunately, I don't know that she was going down in a good path. But when she became famous and she left Louisiana to go to LA, that's the only time that she was on her own. And obviously she married and she had the babies. But if you go back and watch videos of her during that time when people said she was being wild, she was always so polite, even to the freaking paparazzi. I'm like, she never needed to be nice to them. They ruined her life.
Yeah.
And you bringing up the media, I love, because the Free Britney movement would have started if it wasn't for the fans and a podcast. It was a podcast that started this whole thing. And then mainstream media got a hold of it. And it's funny because look at even the website that I sent you this article for. It's kind of like a dark website. It's not mainstream. Nobody's talking about it in mainstream. And I always feel like either she has some very powerful people controlling everything, or she always just feels very left behind, because to me, this feels like something that mainstream should be covering. And then even sooner or later, her team will have to put her out there so that people see her. And one of the main reasons why people think the Noble thing was the person saying she snatched the baby and kissed it was like a plan, is because there's tons of paparazzi in front of Noble 24/7, because that's this spot in LA. They're like, you really think Britney Spears is gonna go into Noble and nobody else is gonna see her other than these people, unless they close the restaurant? But they didn't, because there was other people there. So I think I don't think she's okay, but I don't know. I don't know what to believe. And I feel so bad for Britney. Is an idol of mine, my first girl crush. Like, I know she was yours too, but same. You feel so helpless because you want to help her, but you don't know who or what to believe. And who do we go to as fans or as a concerned society to try to help her? You don't know.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to what you just said. None of anything involving Britney Spears is being covered mainstream, and I feel like that's for a reason. They're trying to hide whatever is going on because it's going to expose a lot of other things, and that leads to other scenarios being, brought to the light. A podcast, it started with a podcast talking about Britney, and then fans just started getting on it and on it, and they had no choice but to acknowledge it.
But it's a podcast called Britney's Instagram, because these girls thought that her Instagram was so wild. They started a podcast just discussing her.
That was part of they were on the documentary. I think they were on the documentary.
So I just, she's okay.
You froze again.
You okay?
Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, back on the topic of Britney Spears, I don't even think a lot of people realize too that, her being away for so long, I don't think they just threw a phone in her hand and let her be on social media. I definitely think there's a moderator or someone in charge, because not every celebrity is in charge of their social media accounts. That's been exposed for certain people. I think, another way to look at it as well, maybe they want her to seem crazy. Maybe they're posting this content to keep her relevant, so people are always following to see what's going on as the other side of it.
Or maybe they're letting her be that way so that she goes again on a down spiral. The decisions that were made.
Yeah, because if you look back, like I know for myself, and you probably too, you got to a certain age where you had a rebellious stage. Kids go through it, teenagers go through it. You have that, you're in your 20s sometimes, and so on. She had to do that in the public eye her entire life. So she went from being such a goody two shoes, in a way, to having a
Do
rebellious
you do
phase.
you remember like members of the press asking about her virginity, asking if her
Yeah,
breasts were fake when she was like 17
crazy,
years old? Like you could
crazy
not get
stuff.
away asking an artist that today. You couldn't.
No way, no way. I keep saying it. That documentary or that episode of that whatever it was, um, blew me out of the water. Like just blew my mind was blown. Like I couldn't even believe the things that were happening.
I know those were different times, but I'll never forget people asking her about if she was still a virgin after the breakup with Justin Timberlake. And I
Yeah,
remember
and the
even thinking to
lies and the
myself, and
headlines.
I'm in Britney's age group, so I can relate to that. I'm thinking I would never want anybody to ask me publicly. It's not that you're ashamed; it's that you have no right to ask a woman about her virginity who's still underage in national TV. And there's so many times that she just broke down crying, and it's like
Yeah.
she probably doesn't know how to act or what to do.
And you know what the worst part about that too, and actually it aggravates me. Like when those situations happen, it's not that oh poor Britney, let's be there for her. No, it's slut shaming. It's she's crazy, she's wild. All
Because she
it
portrayed
comes back to the media.
a sexy performer, and
Yeah.
it's sold. They know
Yep.
who she is. All of these artists, all of these people that we see on stage are a complete different human, and they just turn it up for the cameras.
Yep.
Britney always sold that image. There was a lot of one girl people that she competed with, and Jessica Simpson had the innocent thing going for her. Christina Aguilera had the voice going for her. I always thought Britney was the best performer, dancer, and she had that sex sells. So I can assume that people in her management were like, okay, let's go full in with that. Doesn't mean that's who she was.
Exactly.
And doesn't give people the right to treat her the way that they treated her. And I just hope that she's okay, because I don't know what to think and what to believe. This is a rabbit hole that I can go down for hours. And a lot of people always like make fun of me, like some of my friends, because I always tell them I go to Twitter and YouTube for my news. But that's where you can find these kind of things, because the mainstream media don't cover these things. No. So I watch like Philip DeFranco, and I watch YouTube news shows, which we're here doing that if you think about it. And I go to Twitter and see what's trending for me and what's trending worldwide. That's where I get my news. If it's not there, I probably won't find out about it. But there's a reason why I want to know about these kind of things that people don't know about.
Yeah, I heard someone say once, and it stuck with me it's still stuck with me. They said that the news is no longer the truth; it's an opinion, and it's true because, like,
ooh, yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, the news is no longer the truth; it's an opinion. And if you look at even to kind of go out of that, deeper into that, you look at certain networks like. Everyone gets the same story and they present it a way that is their opinion of that situation. And I feel like a lot of the stuff with Britney, that is the epitome of this whole situation. Like even us just talking about it now, like, is she going through something? Is she not going through something? Because someone said she is and someone said she isn't. So it's really hard to differentiate what is the truth. And I don't think we'll ever hear it from her unless she decides to. But back to what we said, I don't think she's in charge of her social media. I think we lost Issa again. Let me see. Let me just double check. Issa, if you're there, if you can hear me, I don't know what's going on. She froze again. But yeah, I just think that a lot of the stuff with Britney Spears is more opinion than truth. Sorry. And I think that in the next upcoming years, we'll hear more and more about it come out, and maybe we can get some sort of bottom line. But for the time being, I think that all we can do is really just keep supporting her. And and people, people who have or are a part of the Free Britney. Let's add Issa back. Hey, she's back.
Internet, big heel turn from my internet on
heel
today's
turn.
episode.
No,
and shout out to Brad and Killer in the chat. I saw them saying hello. So
yeah, I was just telling everybody that's watching, all you can really do at this point is support her as much as you can, and just do what you would do for anybody else. And it's she froze again. Today is just the internet is against Issa today, and it happens. Can you hear me? I think we lost her again. But I'm sure we could sit here and talk about Britney for hours. She was my first crush as a kid. Issa had the same thing, first girl crush. But let's jump into the next topic here. Disney stock. Well, first off, Disney is on another planet now. But Disney stock hits the lowest since March of 2020 because Avatar, the sequel, and that missed its estimate level it was supposed to hit, which I don't know what happened there.
Did you watch it? Did you watch the new Avatar movie yet?
I haven't seen it yet. I love the first one. I honestly, I don't know how I didn't know, but I didn't even know there was a sequel until I saw a commercial.
I thought it came out of nowhere too. Like, I think I was actually watching wrestling and saw the preview, and I was like, where did this come from? I was like, I have no idea that we were even... Right. No, I didn't know. But I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen very mixed reviews. I've seen some people that love it. I've seen some people that don't. I saw the runtime, and I already know I'm not watching it. Not now. I need to be mentally prepared for a 3+ hour movie.
It's 3 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah, no,
3 hours and 12 minutes. That's Monday Night Raw.
And more.
And more.
With an overrun. That's Monday Night Raw with an overrun, okay?
Yeah. Oh, man.
No, I'm not doing that. But I did see some very mixed reviews about it. Like, I'm seeing some people like it. Some of my favorite YouTube reviewers are praising it, and some people are not liking it so much.
It says that they had an industry expectation of 170 million plus for the opening weekend, and let's see, they secured roughly 134 million. Yeah, so I don't know what happened.
Imagine if they actually marketed better, because both you and I are like, I had no idea this movie was being made.
But see, here's another thing too. I have not gone to the movies since like 2019. Like, I don't go to the movies anymore. Ever since like a little before the pandemic.
Wait, what? Really?
I have not gone to the movies since 2019.
Yeah.
A lot of the movies that I want to see, the
pandemic's ruined everything, because now.
Yep. You there? You hear me? Is she there?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, a lot of times when I see a movie, I'm like, okay, where is it streaming?
Exactly. And you know what Peacock's doing too now? Peacock, when a movie comes out in the theater, the same day it's on Peacock, so you can either stream it or go to the theater. I mean, I prefer to just watch
that's how I watch the Halloween movies.
Yeah, exactly. Peacock, HBO Max is doing that too. So I don't know. I haven't.
Well, yeah, I saw a preview. I saw a preview for Puss in Boots, and I was like, oh, where can I stream it? And I'm like, theaters? I'm not doing that.
How crazy is it that in 2022, almost 2023, we have a Puss in Boots movie? I am so excited to see that one. That is one that's on my list. But I probably won't go to the theater and see it. I'll probably wait till it's on Peacock or HBO Max in like 2 months, 3 months. Yeah.
I know. I love Puss in Boots.
I know Top Gun is going to be streaming next week.
I love that movie. But the article that I sent. Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Which one? Can you hear me? We might have lost her again. But yeah, there's a few movies that I want to see that are coming out this week, Christmas week. We have obviously Avatar just came out. I didn't even know about that one, like we said. Top Gun.
Which one?
The new Top Gun is streaming on.
Oh yeah, I was telling you before I froze that I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited. I heard it was great.
Yeah, apparently it's like one of the best movies of the entire year. Like it won so many like awards and whatever. But I want, that's one I want to see. I want to see the Puss in Boots movie. What else do I want to see? I don't know. There is a TV show that I am now watching for the first time, and people are probably going to laugh at me because it's been out for a little while now. I finally just started, like this past weekend, Cobra Kai. I'm a huge fan of the Karate Kid movies, and I was excited for the Cobra Kai show, which is crazy. Sorry. It started on like YouTube, and then Netflix picked it up. They're in 5 seasons now. The sixth season, I think, is coming out next year. It's an incredible show. Like, my dad watches it. I'm watching it. I know younger kids are watching it. So it's not really for a specific like generation of people. But I'm enjoying it thus far. Sorry. I don't know what's happening. I'm coughing. We lost connection with Issa. Today is just a full heel turn on us, but it's fine. We'll get through it. It's the holiday season. It's time to be joyful. So yeah, those are a few shows and movies that I want to see, or I'm going to see, and that I'm currently watching. I know. Let's see. Oh, let's see.
I think I'm here.
I think she's here.
I had to wrap it up before I disappear again.
No, that's fine. I was just saying that I was just telling everybody that's watching. I just started for the first time Cobra Kai on Netflix. I had never watched it before. I'm a huge fan of the.
Oh, I need to watch the new season. I watched all of it. Yeah, I watched all of it except for this new 5th season. I haven't watched it yet.
Apparently, the 6th is coming out next year, so I'm trying to get myself prepared by watching it all. But I started it this last weekend, and
very good, quite
amazing.
Entertaining. And I'm not a Karate Kid person, and I still loved it.
I love the Karate Kid movies. I was just telling the chat that I love the Karate Kid movies. And when this show came out, it was originally put out on YouTube, and then Netflix picked it up like quickly. And 5 seasons, and now the 6th comes out next year. And I finally just started it. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I need to watch the latest season.
Yeah, but I'm excited. There's a lot of things to look forward to in this upcoming year. It's Christmas week, which is crazy, and New Year's next week. Just this year, I feel like flew by so fast. But I guess we can wrap it there before we lose Issa again. To everyone listening and watching,
I apologize to the people watching. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet, so apologies to everybody watching today.
That's fine. We still got you here, so that's all that matters. So Christmas, it's the holiday week. It's Christmas. Hanukkah started this last weekend. And I don't know, it's the most wonderful time of year. Everyone should be celebrating and being happy and cheerful and doing all that stuff that we do every year. I want to wish everybody watching a happy holiday. We will see you next week. And Issa, to you, happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And thanks for being such a good co-host. I've loved doing this show with you. And I think that 2023 is going to be a big year for us. So I'm excited.
I agree. And likewise, I love having this show with you.
Yeah, we have our little Kardashian corner. We have our Hollywood segments. We have all these things. I'm sure we'll have more building next year. So if you have anything else to say to the people, just happy holidays.
No, happy holidays to everybody. Be safe, have fun, enjoy the time with your loved ones, and that's it. Before my internet runs out, we'll be back next week with the last episode of the year.
Oh man, it's crazy. That'll be episode 12. Again, happy holidays, and we will see you next week. Be safe.